Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone. Let me to introduce myself. My name is Muhammad Akmal Fatah with NPM 25412065. Today I would like to presentation about understanding economic data, the foundation of economic analysis, a comprehensive guide to how data shapes our standing of economies past and present. Okay, first, what is economic data? Definition: economic data describes actual economies, both past and present. It forms the empirical backbone of economics research, policy making, and academic inquiry, transforming raw observation into actionable insight. Two core formats. First, time series tracks a variable over time, e.g. monthly unemployment is recorded over several years to reveal trends and cycles. Okay, second, cross-sectional captures data at single point time, e.g. household income and consumption level across different regions simultaneously. Data is gathered via surveys of individuals and firms, then often aggregated to sectors, industries, or the national level to support broader analysis. Okay, next, data spectrum of information. Economic data exists on a broad spectrum, from granular individual transactions to sweeping national aggregates that define a country's economic health. First, micro level, detailed individual transactions, firm-level financial records, and household expenditure data that reveal the behavior of economic agents. Next, macro level, aggregate national accounts such as gross domestic product or GDP, corporate profits, and personal income compiled by agencies like the U.S. Bureau of Economic Analysis (BEA). Next, the last one is sectorial. Industry and sector level data, bringing micro and macro, covering production, consumption, investment, and trends flows across the economy. Okay guys, so this is a characteristic of good economic data. Not all data is created equal. For economic data to be truly useful, it must meet five essential quality criteria that ensure its reliability and applicability in research and policy. First, relevance. Data must directly address the specific economic question or problem at hand. Irrelevant data, no matter how accurate, adds no analytical value. Next, accuracy. Data should be free from errors and faithfully reflect true economic activity, ensuring conclusions drawn are credible and sound. Next, timelines. Data must be current enough to support effective decision making, or that data may lead to misguided economic policies. Next, consistency. Data should be collected and present uniformly over time and across sources, enabling valid comparisons and longitudinal analysis. And the last one is accessibility. Data should be readily available and understandable to its internet user, from seasoned economists to public policymakers. Okay, next, data-based scale of measurement. Economic data can be classified by its measurement scale, a hierarchy that determines which mathematical operation and statistical analysis are valid and meaningful. First, nominal, categorical, no order, e.g. types of industries, manufacturing, service, agriculture. Next, ordinal, ordered categories, differences not quantifiable, e.g. economic growth rankings, slow, moderate, and fast. Next, interval. Meaningful difference, not true zero, e.g. temperature initials, consumer sentiment scores on a fixed scale. Okay, next, the last one is ratio. True 0 point for mathematical operation, e.g. GDP, income price, unemployment rates. Okay, next. Okay, next, data by nature. Qualitative versus quantitative. Qualitative data describe qualities or characteristics that cannot be measured numerically. It captures the richness of human economic experience, perceptions, attitudes, and narrative. First, consumer sentiment and confidence surveys. Second, market trend description and analyst commentary. Third, economic policy narrative and governance reports. The last one is business outlook and managerial assessments. Next, quantitative data. Data that can be measured numerically and subjected to rigorous statistical analysis. It forms the quantitative backbone of economic modeling and forecasting. First, unemployment rates and labor force participation. Second, inflation figures, CPI or PPI. Third, GDP growth percentage and natural output. The last one is interest rates, trade balance, and fiscal deficits. Okay, next, database source, primary versus secondary. Understanding where data originates is essential for evaluating its reliability, scope, and appropriateness for a given economic analysis. Primary data, collected directly by the researchers or organization for a specific purpose. It is original, tailored, and highly relevant, but costly and time-consuming together. Uh, Explain survey conducted by the BEA or Federal Reserve, direct firm-level financial reports and disclosures, and the last one is original household income and expenditure surveys. Okay, next, secondary data already collected and published by others, offering broad historical coverage and breadth at lower cost, so it might not perfectly match the research specific needs. Explain historical GDP figures from the BEA, World Bank, and EIMF economic indicators. And the last one is OECD national accounts and statistical databases. Okay, next, data by acquisition method. The method used to collect economic data profoundly affects its coverage, cost accuracy, and applicability. Its approach serves distinct analytical purposes. First, surveys. Collecting data from a representative sample, e.g. Consumer Price Index surveys, American Community Survey, efficient but subject to sampling error. Next, census. Collecting data from every member of a population, e.g., the US, the US decennial census, comprehensive but expensive and logistically complex. Next, administrative records. Data collected by government agencies for administrative purposes, e.g. tax records, social security filings, rich and consistent, talk not designed for research. Okay, the last one is direct observation. Recording economic phenomena as they occur, e.g. tracking real-time stock market prices or point-of-sale transaction data, highly granular and immediate. Okay, next, the U.S. National Income and Product Accounts (NIPS). The NIPS represents one of the most comprehensive and authoritative economic data frameworks in the world, a model for national statistical system globally, completed by the Bureau of Economic Analysis (BEA), a principal agency of the U.S. federal statistical system, responsible for producing accurate and timely economic statistics. Next, key measures includes gross domestic product or GDP, corporate profits, personal income, personal saving, and government spending. the core metrics of national economic performance. The last one is, eh, not the last one. Why, why it matters. Neighbors provide a detailed, consistent framework to assess U.S. output and income over time, enabling economists and policymakers to evaluate economic health, identify trends, and guide fiscal decisions. Okay, guys. So, data as the compass for economic understanding. Economic data, regardless of its type, scale, source, or acquisition method, is the indispensable foundation upon which all rigorous economic analysis rests. First, classify correctly. Understanding data classification by scale, nature, source, and method ensures the right analytical tools are applied and conclusions remain valid. Next, demand quality. Insisting on relevance, accuracy, timelines, consistency, and accessibility guarantees the data serve as a reliable guide, not a source of misinformation. Last one is drive progress. The continuous collection, reinforcement, and analysis of economic data empowers economists, businesses, and governments to make informed decisions that shape our economic future. Oke guys, that's all for me. Thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.